While Christmas is all about star quality meals and having a centerpiece on your table that revolves around the entire creation that Christmas brings, it's also about having the perfect sides that accompany these star quality meals. Most often people tend to neglect the side and just use odds and ends. However, in today's cooking, we are going to explore the world of sides and how to create the perfect side to go along with a star quality meal. Whether it is your red cabbage, chorizo and apple stir fry or just an old-fashioned Swedish potato and anchovy bake, these go with any star quality meal, creating that perfect Christmas Eve dinner. Let's get to creating it. My Swedish potato and anchovy bake is just all about getting 4-5 ingredients together and allowing it to bake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 40 minutes. It's such a simple yet quite stylish a meal. So out here I've got a kg of potatoes that I've sliced about 4 mm in thickness, roundels, and we're just going to get to start arranging them on a bakeware pan. It's about creating quite a sandwich effect, so you line the bottom with these potato slices. Just allow them to compress and hold well together. Into this, you give it a fine sprinkle of some finely chopped red chilies, and these are totally optional because I like the heat that red chili brings. A sprinkle of some garlic, sea salt, just roasted garlic and sea salt together just gives it that burst of flavor. 1 red onion, just roughly sliced, you put it on top. And now in goes these canned anchovies with the oil and all. So you just mix them up and allow them to shred. I like to shred it in the pan itself so that it's not too messy an affair. Just scatter these into various different places and put it right in. And now this is what's actually going to give that sharp contrasting flavor to these potatoes. A fine sprinkle of some nutmeg. And nutmeg is always required for potatoes just to bring that together. Now you put in the next layer of potatoes on top and allow everything to compress with each other. Just need to repeat the process by scattering the remaining red onions on top. Last of the red chilies. Now an overload of this garlic sea salt, a final dash of some nutmeg. I just sprinkle it, and if you like the sharp flavor that nutmeg brings, just go overboard. And now all you need to do is take 250 ml of cream, full fat cream, and pour it into all the nooks and crannies of this creation. It just helps everything come together really well. And finally, a sprinkling of about 4 tablespoons of these gorgeous breadcrumbs. You can use fresh breadcrumbs or a mix of breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese, or just old-fashioned breadcrumbs to work its magic on top. Now, while I have used anchovies in this gorgeous Swedish bake, you can go get experimentative, use some canned tuna, use some canned sardines, or just boil some fish and put it along. It works really well. This goes into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for just about 45 minutes till it gets that golden crunch on top. With the Swedish bake in the oven, now comes the fun part of creating a stir fry of red cabbage, of chorizo and some apples. It's quite a new age modern take, and I like to use the Goan chorizo, which is more sharper in flavor. However, this works so well that you can also freeze it and reuse it either for a Christmas party or on Christmas Eve. It's such a versatile dish to work with and explore. To start off, Into my cast iron pan, I've got about 30 grams of butter that I'm just going to allow to melt. And with it, I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil. So about 10 ml of olive oil going in as well. As you allow the butter to melt and sizzle to a bit, you add in about 6 cloves of garlic finely minced. And just allow it to infuse the entire olive oil and butter emulsion out here. You want this to cook but not brown, so just stir it till it infuses and the fragrance is something that you can bask along with. Into this goes red cabbage, and I use nearly 700 grams of red cabbage because I'm creating 2 batches, one to enjoy midweek and one to reserve and freeze and reuse for my Christmas dinner. So put the red cabbage in and allow it to sweat. As it sweats and gets to half its size, we're going to add in some more. You need to cook this on the highest possible flame so that it really reduces in its size and just gets soft and gorgeous. As this begins sweating and reducing to half its size, and since it's on the highest possible heat, we're just going to go ahead and season it. And I'm using some celery salt out here just to give it that additional burst of flavor. Seasoning at this time just aids in the reducing of this and allowing it to cook at a higher rapid pace. As you've allowed the cabbage to wilt and come down to about 1/4 its volume, now's the time to add in 2 apples that I've just peeled, cored and sliced. Now you want the apples to get mushy in this, giving it all its flavor, but yet at the same time holding on to its crunch. So allow it to stir fry for another 2 to 3 minutes till they just hold their own but have that crunch as well, and then gets to adding the glorious part of this entire creation, and that's the gorgeous chorizo. As the apples have begun to soften a bit and absorb the flavors that are present out here, in goes a kg of these Goan chorizo, boiled and just going right in, and with it, it brings about all the flavor that a chorizo is known for. So this is a very, very modern Indian take on the classic Goan chorizo, or rather a modern Goan take on the classic chorizo. All you need to do is allow this to saute with each other for a good 4 to 5 minutes, absorbing all the flavors and actually marrying into each other. This is ready either for a quick fix dinner. You can slap it in between 2 slices of bread and create a sandwich. Reserve a part of it that will go either into your turkey as the perfect stuffing or a side for Christmas Eve dinner. I like to reserve a large batch of this and just put it into the freezer and reuse it closer towards Christmas. 5 minutes, and as you've allowed everything to wilt together and you see how the chorizo has gorgeously stained the apples as well as the cabbage, all it requires is that bit of crunch in the form of roasted almonds as a garnish. So about 12 almonds roasted, just going on top, and you're good to go. All you need to do is switch off the flame and this gorgeous creation is ready. The potatoes and the anchovies have baked gorgeously well, and it's so Swedish in nature. All I've allowed is I've allowed the onions to caramelize a little bit on top, giving it that glorious crunch. With this ready, all we have to do is enjoy this as the perfect side. Now these sides, though versatile in nature, work their way into any meal, just elevating it and styling it up to the next level. I hope you enjoyed creating the world of sides with me. The versatility of both these dishes allow you to either refrigerate it and reheat it, or freeze it and use it for a Christmas party or Christmas Eve. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button, and as always, don't forget to subscribe.